jump in this thing and see what it'll do.
Ready to rock this, bro? Oh, hell yeah.
Junk for me, but to get something for Roadkill. Roadkill called me and asked me, hey, that Duster we got from you, or Dart, wherever the heck that thing is, can you put that together for us for a new episode coming out? Our guys are too busy to build it. I'm like, well, all right, well, how much time do I got? Can you have it done by August 3rd? I'm like, the car's been sitting for 30 something years. August 3rd, that's like 10 days. He's like, can you get it done? Yeah. So now I gotta go pick this junk up, haul ass to Arizona, grab this car that they were gonna go get and build themselves, and haul that junk back to my house so I can try and build this thing. So we're headed to go get some junk. Cool junk, but it is junk. See you there. Doug Schneider's setting us up with our whopping race motors. Let's see what else we got over here. Got some thumper headers. And for stylish points, some slots. Gonna deck this sucker out. Wait, you don't want your chrome dome in there?
Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, so that's kind of what I was doing when I received a text message from the David Freiberger. Hey, that Duster that we got from you, can you get that thing race ready in 7 days? We're gonna go dirt track racing with it. I'm like, 7 days? I'm like, dude, that thing is junk. And guess the kind of junk I'm sitting in? That Duster now. So look at the dummy that accepted the challenge to get this junk ready. now we have 6 days to get this beauty-miss, patinaed up Circle Track Duster race ready. We got a donor engine over there because the one that's in this car is locked up. And let's just admire what is in here right now. We got the Valentine, Valentine radiator. Look at that whopping 318 of Fury that is froze up solid. The brakes are froze up solid. The suspension is collapsed. I have no idea of the drivetrain in this thing. Don't even know if the radiator will work. We know all the electrical's junk. And 6 days. So, I guess we got nothing to do but just get on it. I think they got water pipes or rope or exhaust tubing as well. Wow, they got like an 1.5 inch exhaust pipe on this turd.
But this engine is full of rust too, huh?
Oh yeah. I was wondering why the right front suspension was bottomed out on the ground. Broken torsion bar, snapped. Right where it goes into support. Just another thing to replace. I will find something on this car that is worth reusing. They got the frickin' calipers welded to the spindles. We've got broken torsion bars. There's so much other crap on this car, it's just, Dude, just all the freaking rust and sprinkles on this thing. Rust and dirt. Junk. We got black widow nest, we got hornet's nest, squirrel nest. Junk. All right, Roadkill sent me some goodies for the Duster. Yeah, get out of the way, Derek. All right, so we got 650 overall carburetor, new clutch, got a wind intake, got motor mounts, master cylinder, fuel cell brackets, and of course, what's Roadkill without zip ties? All right, let's start throwing this junk on that junk. Oh, it's another warm day. Well, now that we got the engine out, We're starting to swap over parts from that engine to this engine. We got to steal the motor mounts off that engine, a couple miscellaneous parts, the flywheel. We have a new clutch for it, but we're gonna start getting this engine dressed up, maybe slap in a little more thumpity thump cam, getting the K-frame cleaned up, starting putting new brakes on it now. And I removed the factory proportioning valve because these are crap. This is what we want. And this is going to be a brake bias that I'm going to mount inside the cab for the Roadkill guys. That way they can adjust the front brakes. Yes, the opposite of what you guys normally do, except for dirt racing. We want all the rear brake you can throw at it. What we want to limit is the front brake. That way you can use the brakes to actually set the car into the corner instead of having it to where this is on the rears, because if you did that, you'd have to max out the rears all the time and you'd still have too much front brake to where it would just plow going into the corner. So I'm gonna get Dulcich set up this. I just talked to Dulcich and told him about this, and he's like, oh yeah, that'd be a great idea. So I'm going to make new lines, get it plumbed up in the car. And so here's my little T-fitting I'm gonna use. This is all just junk I had laying around. So we're gonna use this for the factory, to tie in the factory fronts, and I just have a union I'm gonna use on the rear. Pretty simple stuff. Got a new master cylinder. I need to go get new fittings for this guy, so that way I can get all the brakes done before we slap the engine back in the car, which that's still nowhere near ready to go in. We still got an intake to put on it, like I said. Probably gonna try and slap a cam in it. Yeah, and we also need to flush the engine with gasoline and then drain the oil pan, because this thing's full of crap. It's not a real, it was a $300 engine, last minute $300 engine, which that should have been like a freebie, or at least a $100 engine, but we paid $3. Got a new alternator for it. We got a whole bunch of crap I gotta go pick up for this thing. So I'm gonna get on that. Don't you like our fancy patchwork that someone had already done for us? That's killer, huh? I don't know if Roadkill is just cursed and that everything you touch that's theirs just get bad luck, but the donor engine that was told was good, this intake runner is completely rotted out and the valve is rotted to the guide. So, and luckily we pulled the intake, because inside there just happened to be a random bolt in there. So we're gonna pull the head, see if we can salvage this engine. If not, I don't know. We'll find something, I guess. All right, let's yank it off. Oh, it's fucking in the trash. All right. Well, since engine number 2 is junk, it's got a big old rust hole in the cylinder wall. Nothing we can do with this engine. That engine's locked up, so we're not even gonna bother playing with that one. And I have wore out my contacts. Garrett wore out his contacts trying to find an engine. Craigslist offer of nothing within Vegas. So I've got my feelers out on the engine, and all we can do is just kind of move on. So we're gonna mount the gas tank, fuel cell, and then put a battery box in it, run some cables. I guess I'll finish the brakes. We'll weld that bar in. We're gonna put a new bar across there, put some gauges in it, and just see what. Just keep moving along, and hopefully an engine will just land in our lap. So onward we go. All right, well, wouldn't you know it, that one of the brackets to actually hold down the fuel cell, this is just the cheapy brackets, cheapy fuel cell, and they're only 1/4-inch bolts that hold this thing down, so I feel confident in just mounting it to sheet metal. I'm not driving it. But, wouldn't you know it, one of the holes that I need to drill through landed in a body plug. So we just kind of booger welded a piece of sheet metal right there. I'm gonna finish welding it, and then we can mount the fuel cell. Per most circle track rules, if you have a fuel line going through the cab, it has to be in a steel pipe. Seeing as how Roadkill doesn't really care about rules, they would probably just want me to Adele clamp it to the floor and call it good. But I'm going to go ahead and hole saw, run this pipe from this firewall all the way through the other firewall. That way, if there's a fire, it's behind this firewall and it's in front of that firewall, so dulcichs won't burn that here. Alright. See, I'm trying to eyeball a straight shot here. And I want to go from this hole directly to the other hole. See if you can shove that pipe through here.
I'm going in! Setting bars out.
That's that. Just try not to stare at the wall. Done. I can finally call this car race ready.